Managing your time is more about your mindset and how you think about your time than it is about a perfectly color-coded calendar. Now, my Time Management Academy clients hear me say this all the time. In today's episode, we are going to dig into exactly what it means to change the way that you think about time and what that has to do with your success. Now, before we dive in, I want to know what you would do with 20 extra hours in the month of July. And before you roll your eyes at me and tell me that it isn't possible with how busy you are playing personal assistant and chauffeur to your kids this summer, please hear me out. This is truly my superpower, helping working moms just like you get hours back every single week. Imagine what you could do with 20 extra hours this month. Could you get a big project done in your business that you've been putting off? Could you finally stick to that meal plan because you have time to meal prep this month? Could you fit in more pool time with your kids or your family? Or could you just carve out time for yourself and spending time doing the things that you love to do? If that sounds enticing for you, I want you to check out thelauraddavis.com/schedule to start getting back 5 or more hours every single week. All right, my name is Laura Davis. I'm a time management strategist, and I truly believe that women can have it all. You can have a career or a business that you are absolutely crazy passionate about, and you can be a present in the moment mom with your kids and your family. And this is totally possible through learning the skill of managing your time in a way that respects the complexities of a working mom life. All right, let's dig into today's episode. Now, I want to start with an analogy, okay? And if you know me at all, if you've been following me at all for a while, you know that this analogy is going to be absolutely hilarious to you because I am terrified of flying. Absolutely terrified. That's a conversation for a different day, but I'm terrified of flying. Probably one of the worst cases of fear of flying that I've personally ever heard of. So terrified of flying, but this analogy fits so perfectly. So I want to share it with you because it's something I've been thinking about recently. Now, if you've ever been to an airport, you know that they have the control tower, the air traffic control tower. And I want you to picture yourself in the air traffic control tower, right? And the runway, all of the different runways below you, focus on one runway. That runway is your time, okay? And planes are, represent everything that is demanding your attention and your time, whether that's emails, whether that's meetings, school functions, school reminders, your business, maybe the dentist appointment that you forgot to cancel, packing lunch for your kids every day for summer camp, going to summer camp, making sure that your next launch is successful, having date nights with your spouse, having budget meetings with your spouse. And, maybe even if it's something like your goals of wanting to launch a podcast, or, maybe it's planning vacations, or maybe you have a large family. And so it's, all of the demands of that large family. So think of all of the different planes that are coming into the airport as all of the different demands on your time. And most women think that being overwhelmed means that you're failing. But what if instead it means that you are in a moment of leadership potential, okay? And you get to decide which plane lands first, which circles back, which one does a go around, which one actually doesn't land at this airport at all, right? And it's not that you're losing control. You're actually learning how to direct control so that you can reduce that feeling of overwhelm. And when I thought about it this way, I was like, man, this is really the shift that women, especially working moms, need to experience. Because when you have a lot of demands on your time and your schedule, slipping into feeling overwhelmed is a much easier default feeling than it is to say, you know what, actually, this is my opportunity to step up as a leader of my runway, a leader of my airport, a leader of my time, and I get to be the one to direct the planes. I get to have that control over the planes that want to come onto my runway. And so when you think about it that way, that allows your mind to much more easily overcome that sense of overwhelm than it would be if you didn't see yourself as that leader. So I want you to think about these 3 mindset shifts that can take you from overwhelmed to stepping into that empowered leader role within your life, your family, your business, or your job. Number 1, you are allowed to land fewer planes. All right, so we're going to stick with this whole airport analogy the whole episode, just FYI. So you are allowed to land fewer planes. The biggest trap for working moms is thinking that everything has to happen right now, right? Like when you get all of these requests and demands on your time, you're thinking that you have to say yes to everything and it has to be right now. But when you are in that air traffic control tower, you get to decide what is landing. So maybe some flights do the go around, if you've ever done that, where you have to circle the airport and maybe land at a different time. Some planes have to wait, right? So maybe some of those demands can wait and they don't have to happen right now. Maybe you can choose to make that a priority in 6 months. You get to choose what's urgent and what's not. Very similar to that air traffic control tower. They get to decide what plane is the priority and what plane gets to land versus what plane doesn't get to land. Mindset shift number 2 is that you don't need more hours necessarily. You need more leadership and authority of your hours. All right, I want to say that one more time because I think if you let this sink in, this is going to change the way that you look at your time. You don't necessarily need more hours, but you need more leadership and authority of your hours, okay? So you don't need to necessarily cram more into your schedule or cram as much as you absolutely can into your schedule. You need to own your schedule and lead your schedule and step into that leadership role. Because when you have rhythms that support your energy and not just your obligations, that's when you are able to be more in control and be more of a leader for your time and for your calendar. And being in control isn't necessarily about doing more. It's about deciding what matters most and then protecting that with clarity and with calmness. Mindset shift number 3 is that you are not behind on anything. You are the leader. You are orchestrating your life, right? You are in that air traffic control tower directing things. And you get to decide that you're not behind. So when you're in that air traffic control tower, right, you're not chasing the planes. You're not having to hunt down the planes and go after them and micromanage them. You're guiding the planes, right? And if your week feels like it's off course, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that it's time to reroute, right? Or to rethink how your planes are landing on your runway. So it's strategic pivots that are really a part of enabling your power as a leader. So if you want help creating that runway that we've talked about today, and if you want help figuring out how to be that air traffic controller, then I've got you. And better yet, if you want someone else to do the hard part for you, that is exactly what the Schedule Accelerator does. It is a done for you weekly plan that reflects your runway, right? Your family, your business, your bandwidth, your personal obligations, your professional obligations. When you do this Schedule Accelerator, within 72 hours, you will have a customized weekly schedule that gets you back at least 5 hours every single week. And it enables you to be that CEO powerhouse mom that you truly are. It enables you to step into that leadership role with a head start because you've got that done for you weekly schedule. If you're interested in that, you can head to thelauraddavis.com/schedule to book your spot for July. Now, you have been doing something that no one else can, right? you have been coordinating everything in your life while also parenting, working, maybe building your side business, maybe pursuing dreams or hobbies that you absolutely love. And that a lot of women can think that doing that many things can lead to burnout, but that's actually your path to leadership. And so I want to encourage you with this episode to step into that identity, step into that leadership role, take ownership of your runway, and watch how truly your weeks can land differently, right? They can feel differently because you've stepped into a leadership role and you've said, I get to control how my planes land on my runway, right? And your runway is your time. So I want to encourage you. Cheers to empowered scheduling this week. Cheers to, you really stepping into that leadership role. And I cannot wait to hear all of the amazing things that you do. And I would love to know what you took away from this episode today. I hope that this analogy was super fun for you. I personally love it. It's the way I've been thinking about my time for a while now. And so I wanted to share it with you. And I will see you in the next episode.